الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا من أرسل الله تعالى رحمة للعالمين الصلاة والسلام عليك وعلى آلك وأصحابك أجمعين الصلاة والسلام عليكم يا أنبياء الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أستغفر الله العظيم one time. الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سبحانك ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه الكرام وعلى أرواح مشايخنا في الطريقة النقشبندية العالية سير وساداتنا والصديقين الفاتحة. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا ولك الحمد.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
آمين.
ياسين والقرآن الحكيم إنك لمن المرسلين على صراط مستقيم تنزيل العزيز الرحيم. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا ولك الحمد.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله
الله
أكبر.
أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا ولك الحمد.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
الله أكبر.
سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا ولك الحمد.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر.
الله
الله
أكبر.
أكبر.
الله
الله
أكبر.
أكبر.
الله أكبر.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. محمد رسول الله. استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله. اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام ولك يعود السلام. حينا ربنا بالسلام ادخلنا جنة دارك دار السلام. تباركت ربنا وتعاليت يا ذا الجلال والجمال والبقاء والعظمة والإكرام. سمعنا وأطعنا غفرانك ربنا وإليك المصير. على رسول الله الصلوات. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم. يا رب ذو الجلال والكمال. سبحانك يا عظيم. سبحان الله. على نعمة الإسلام وشافي الإيمان. شكر يا ربي دائما. الحمد لله. تعالى شأنه ولا إله غير الله أكبر. كبيرا والحمد لله كثيرا وسبحان الله بكرة وأصيلا. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير. سبحان ربي العلي الأعلى الوهاب.
يا وهاب يا وهاب يا وهاب يا مسبب الأسباب يا مفتح الأبواب يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا دليل المتحيرين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حي يا قيوم يا ذو الجلال والإكرام. وأفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد. الفاتحة.
الشيخ عبد الفايز الداغستاني سلطان الشيخ محمد نازم عادل الحكاني مولانا الشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني الشيخ محمد عادل عبد الخالق الخلش دواني صاحب زمان سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام روح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا عليه السلام ثم سيدنا أبو بكر الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان إمام الحسن عليه السلام إمام الحسين عليه السلام سيداتنا فاطمة عليه السلام في بركات عرس المبارك سيدنا سلطان الأولياء الشيخ شرف الدين داغستاني قدس الله سيره. Inshallah Allah Azza wa Jal dressed us from the immense lights of the Urs and the passing of Sayyidina Sultan al-Awliya and Sharafuddin Daghestani Qaddas Allah Siru. Inshallah make this a blessed weekend filled with lights and immense blessings, and that His holy nazar be upon us, our families and communities inshallah. بحرمة محمد المصطفى وبصير سورة الفاتحة. بفضل الله إن شاء الله إن شاء الله ببركة مولد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن شاء الله.
اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد عليه السلام صلاة تدوم وتهدى إليك ممر الليالي وطول دوام.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا ليغفرك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر ويتم نعمته عليك ويهديك صراطا مستقيما وينصرك الله نصرا عزيزا. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. فإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا لكم يا حاضرون ووالدنا ووالدكم وأهالينا وأولادنا ولمشايخنا ولمن حضرنا ولمن غاب عنا ولأحيائنا ولأمواتنا وللمواظبين على هذا المجلس ولمن كان سببا في جمعنا. بأن الله الكريم ينفر القلوب ويغفر الذنوب ويستر العيوب ويحفظنا بما حفظ به الذكر وينصرنا بما نصر به الرسول. وأن الله الكريم يجعل مجلسنا هذا محاطا بالخيرات والمسرات والأنوار والبركات ويقضي لنا جميع الحاجات بجاه خير البريات. وأن الله ينصر المسلمين وعلى نيتنا الله الكريم ينصر سلطان الأولياء مولانا الشيخ محمد نازم عادل الحقاني قدس الله سره بجاه خير الأنام وعلى كل نية صالحة مع حسن الخاتمة عند الموت بعد العمر المديد في طاعة الله وإلى حضرة النبي. سورة الفاتحة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنت سلطاننا يا ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وتب علينا وزد حبيبك سيد الأولين والآخرين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم زده يا رب عزا وشرافا ونورا وسرورا وسلطانا ورضوانا رغما في الشيطان ومن تبعه. عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله عسانا هذا بفضل الله ويا أقطاب ويا أنجاب ويا سادات ويا أحباب وأنتم يا أولي الألباب تعالوا وانصروا لله عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله عسانا هذا بفضل الله سألناكم بل زلفى رجوناكم وفي أمر قصدناكم فشدوا أمركم لله عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله عسانا هذا بفضل الله فيا ربي بساداتي تحقق لي إشاراتي أساتاتي بشاراتي ويصفو أمرنا لله عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله عسانا هذا بفضل الله بكشف الحجب عن عيني ورفع البين من بيني وصرف القلب والعين بنور الوجه يا الله عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله عسانا هذا بفضل الله صلاة الله مولانا على من بالهدى جانا ومن بالحق أولانا شفي الخلق عند الله عباد الله رجال الله أغيثونا بأهل الله وكونوا عوننا في الله عسانا هذا بفضل الله مدد 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 يا سيد مدد 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 يا رسول الله مدد يا أبو بكر الصديق مدد يا عمر فاروق مدد يا عثمان غني مدد يا إمام علي مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله مدد يا فاطمة زهرة مدد يا إمام حسن مدد يا إمام حسين مدد يا سلمان فارسي مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله مدد يا قاسم مدد يا صادق مدد يا بسطامي مدد يا خرقاني مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله مدد يا فرمان Samadi, Madad ya Hamadani, Madad ya Khidaru, Madad ya Ghojdawani, Madad ya Arifun, Madad ya Faghnawi, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Ramitani, Madad ya Samasi, Madad ya Amir Kulal, Madad ya Shah Naqshband, Madad ya Attaru, Madad ya Charkhi, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Ahrari, Madad ya Zahidi, Madad ya Darvishu, Madad ya Amkanaki, Madad ya Baqi Billah, Madad ya Sir Hindi, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Masumi, Madad ya Saifuddin, Madad ya Badwani, Madad ya Shamsuddin, Madad ya Dahlawi, Madad ya Baghdadi, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Ismail, Madad ya Khas Muhammad, Madad ya Raghi, Madad ya Ghumuki, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Sughuri, Madad ya Madani, Madad ya Sharafuddin, Madad ya Abdullah, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Sheikh Nazim, Madad ya Sheikh Hisham, Madad ya Sheikh Adnan, Madad ya Sheikh Adil, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Sahibul Waqt, Madad ya Fardani, Madad ya Siddiqul, Madad ya Yamani, Madad ya Imamul Arifin, Madad ya Sakhawi, Madad ya Maruf Bimulhan, Madad ya Ghutlana, Madad, Madad, Madad ya Sayyidi, Madad, 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 Madad ya Rasul Allah, Madad ya Imam Mahdi, مدد يا خليفة الله مدد يا إمام مهدي مدد يا خليفة الله مدد 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 يا سيدي مدد 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 يا رسول الله.
Inshallah, page number 17. يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي بلغه الوسيلة يا ربي خصه بالفضيلة يا ربي وارض عن الصحابة يا ربي وارض عن السلالة يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي وارض عن المشايخ يا ربي فارحم والدينا يا ربي وارحمنا جميعا يا ربي وارحم كل مسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي واغفر لكل مذنب يا ربي يا سامع دعانا يا ربي لا تقطع رجانا يا ربي بلغنا نزور يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي تغشانا بنوري يا ربي حفظانك وأمانك يا ربي واسكننا جنانك يا ربي أجرنا من عذابك يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي صل على محمد يا ربي صل عليه وسلم يا ربي وارزقنا الشهادة يا ربي حوتنا بالسعادة يا ربي واصل كل مسلم يا ربي واكفي
كل مؤذي. يا رب صل على محمد، يا رب صل عليه وسلم. يا
رب صل
على محمد، يا رب صل عليه وسلم.
يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم.
يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم. نحن من قوم به سكنوا، وبه من خوفهم أمنوا، وبآيات القرآن عنوا، فتئد فينا خلوهني. يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم.
نعرف البطح
وتعرفنا، والصفا والبيت يالفنا، ولنا المعلى وخيف منا، فلمن هذا وكن ركني. يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم. ولنا خير الأنام أبو، وعلي المرتضى حسب، وإلى السبطين ننتسب، نسبا ما فيه من دخن. يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم. كم إمام بعده خلفوا، منه سادات بذا عرفوا، وبهذا الوصف قد وصفوا، من قديم الدار والزمن. يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج،
عطفة يا جيرة
العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم. مثل زين العابدين علي، وابنه الباقر خير ولي، والإمام الصادق الحفل، وعلي ذي العلا اليقين. يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم. فهم القوم الذين هدوا، وبفضل الله قد سعدوا، ولغير الله ما قصدوا، وما القرآن في القرن. يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل الجود والكرم.
أهل بيت المصطفى طهوري، هم أمان الأرض فذكري، شبهوا بالأنجم زهوري، مثل ما قد جاء في سنني. يا رسول الله سلام عليك، يا رفيع الشان والدرج، عطفة يا جيرة العلم، يا أهيل
هيل الجود والكرم وسفين للنجاة إذا خفت من طوفان كل أذى فانجو فيها لا تكون كذا وتسم بالله واستعيني يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج أدفة يا جيرة الألم يا هيل الجود والكرم رب فانفعنا ببركتهم واهدنا الحسنى بحرمتهم وأمتنا في طريقتهم ومعافاة من الفتن يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا رفيع الشان والدرج أدفة يا جيرة الألم يا هيل الجود والكرم سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي حبك بقلبي راسي شرفي وعزي ونبراسي حبك بقلبي راسي شرفي وعزي ونبراسي رافعنا لك على راسي رافعنا لك على راسي والله فيه سباهنا سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي طالب بركة جنابا من آثار وأحبابا طالب بركة جنابا من آثار وأحبابا يشهد لي في الأصحاب يشهد لي في الأصحاب تمسوا بركة نبينا سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي وبحجرك يا أبا الزهراء فقه وصاد وبارا وبحجرك يا أبا الزهراء فقه وصاد وبارا حلكهم طه بتمرا حلكهم طه بتمرا هم خير العارفين سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي يشرب طه بالقربة وصحابي بالحب يشرب طه بالقربة وصحابي بالحب تقتام الماضي شربا تقتام الماضي شربا تجعلها بركة وزينة سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي ما يطفي القلب إشراقا لاقى بالقدم وساقا ما يطفي القلب إشراقا لاقى بالقدم وساقا مثل الصحابة وإشاقا مثل الصحابة وإشاقا بالمحشر يشفع لي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي سيدي يا سيدي محمد يا حبيبي. يا حنان يا منان يا قديم الإحسان بحر جودك مليان جد لنا بالغفران جد لنا بالغفران جد لهذا الإنسان عبد سوء خزيان من ذنوبه وحلان خائفينك غضبان خائفينك غضبان يا حنان يا منان يا قديم الإحسان بحر جودك مليان جد لنا بالغفران جد لنا بالغفران ربنا نستعفيك ربنا نسترضيك ولنا ذل فيك يا رجاء أهل الإيمان يا رجاء أهل الإيمان يا حنان يا منان يا قديم الإحسان بحر جودك مليان جد لنا بالغفران جد لنا بالغفران لا تخيب راجي تحت بابك لاجي لم يزال في الضاجي قائلا يا حنان قائلا يا حنان يا حنان يا منان يا قديم الإحسان بحر جودك مليان جد لنا بالغفران جد لنا بالغفران بالنبي الأمي وخديجة أمي والبتول الختم سيدات النسوان سيدات النسوان يا حنان يا منان يا قديم الإحسان بحر جودك مليان جد لنا بالغفران جد لنا بالغفران بالنبي للأعجام من نبينا آدم وبنوح الأقدام وخليل الرحمن وخليل الرحمن يا حنان يا منان يا قديم الإحسان بحر جودك مليان جد لنا بالغفران جد لنا بالغفران بأهل التربة الشار والفقيه المشهار وبيال الأبرار من بهم حالي زان من بهم حالي زان يا حنان يا منان يا قديم الإحسان بحر جودك مليان جد لنا بالغفران جد لنا بالغفران. Inshallah, Urdu Quali book, page 44. خبر تحیر عشق سن خبر تحیر عشق سن نہ جنو رہا نہ پری رہی نہ جنو رہا نہ پری رہی نہ تو رہا نہ تو میں رہا نہ تو رہا ना तो मैं रहा जो रही सो बेखबरी रही, जो रही सो बेखबरी रही, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन। शाह बेखुदी ने अता किया, शाह बेखुदी ने अता किया मुझे अब लिबास बरहनगी, मुझे अब लिबास बरहनगी। ना खिरद की बखिया गिरे रहे, ना खिरद की बखिया गिरे रहे, ना जुनू की पर्दा दरी रहे, खबरे
तहय्युर
इश्क सुन, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन। 40 सिमते गैब से एक हवा, 40 सिमते गैब से एक हवा के चमन ज़ुहूर का जल गया, के चमन ज़ुहूर का जल गया। मगर एक शाख निहाल गम, मगर एक शाख निहाल गम, जिसे दिल कहे सो हरी रहे, खबरे तहय्युर
इश्क
सुन, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन। नज़रे तगाफुल यार का, नज़रे तगाफुल यार का, गिला किस ज़ुबान से करूं बयां, गिला किस ज़ुबान से करूं बयां, के शराब हसरत आरज़ू, के शराब हसरत आरज़ू, ख़ामे दिल में थी सो भरी रही, खबरे
तहय्युर
इश्क सुन, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन। वो अजब घड़ी थी के जिस घड़ी, वो अजब घड़ी थी के जिस घड़ी लिया दरस नुस्ख़ाए इश्क का, लिया दरस नुस्ख़ाए इश्क का, के किताब अक्ल किताब पर, के किताब अक्ल किताब पर, जो धरी थे तो ही धरे रहे, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन। तेरे जोश हैरत हुस्न का, तेरे जोश हैरत हुस्न का, असर इस कदर है यहाँ हुआ, असर इस कदर है यहाँ हुआ, के न आईने में जिला रही, के न आईने में जिला रही, न परी में जलवा गरे रहे, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क सुन। किया खाक आतिश इश्क ने, किया खाक आतिश इश्क ने, दिल बेनवाए सिराज को, दिल बेनवाए सिराज को, ना खतर रहा, ना हज़र रहा, ना खतर रहा, ना हज़र रहा। जो रहे सो बेखतरी रही, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क़ सुन, खबरे तहय्युर इश्क़ सुन।
اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام ولمشايخنا في طريقة النشبندية العلية وسائر ساداتنا الصديقين على الفاتحة. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وأطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم. And always a reminder for myself, عبدك العاجز ضعيف ومسكين وظالم وجاهد, and but for the grace of Allah that we are still in existence, inshaAllah. Alhamdulillah. inshaAllah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. inshaAllah. Fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. inshaAllah, blessed month, the 5th lunar month inshaAllah, and opening towards the 6th lunar month of Qamar and the shining moon. But before we leave the 5th lunar month in Jaltiya, and that Allah has subjected all of creation as a gift to Sayyidina Muhammad, for Ayatul Kareem, Haji Shahzad or Haji Shahid, which one we have? سخر لكم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وسخر لكم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض جميعا منه إن في ذلك لآيات لقوم يتفكرون. صدق الله العلي العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم. بلغ Rasul al-Kareem. Ayatul Kareem is this is the which number ayah, Shaykh, are we at?
45, number 13.
Louder please.
13 Sayyidi.
13 inshaAllah. InshaAllah, alhamdulillah, in this immense ayatul Qur'an on the realities of this 5th lunar month, there's like a big key that Mawlana Shaykh would often recite, and has an immense secret in this entire understanding, and a great daleel and a proof, in which all of what we're talking about, all of what is being given as realities, that all of this creation is for Allah to be known. A hidden treasure wanting to be known but doesn't want the creation, because Allah's might and izzat, jalal is beyond anything that we can imagine, beyond the need to own anything and to claim its ownership. All of this is a gift for the king of his creation Sayyidina Muhammad, as a means in which to be known, and that's it. Allah is not in need of any ownership. Allah's kingdom and might is beyond comprehension and understanding. This is all a gift to show what Allah's generosity of a continuous gift to the soul and the reality of the light of Sayyidina Muhammad. In Ayatul Kareem Allah is describing, and and He Allah has subjected to you, that this is a dialogue between Allah and Sayyidina Muhammad, whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth, subjected to you. وَالسَّخَارَ لَكُمْ, that as a king Allah must give His king, His sultan subjects, and everything is that subject. Every creation, every creation on top of the creation, means from its greatest of its planets and its stars to its smallest, from its ants, its treasures, its flowers, whatever is on that creation and whatever that creation is, He has subjected them to you, from whatever is on earth and whatever in heavens. The throne, the arsh, the Bayt al-Mahmur, the Kaaba of the heavens, the malaika. When these people come and say, oh the awliya are for Allah, is actually the awliya are creation, and anything created is subject to Sayyidina Muhammad, because one being spoken to and one speaking. That Allah that He has subjected to you whatever is on earth and whatever is in the heavens, all from Him Allah Izzati wa Jalalihi, Jami'an wa minhu, that whatever means the catch-all for this contract, Jami'an, that we have subjected whatever on earth and whatever in the heaven. Jami'an means that in its entirety, in the contract mean in the entirety. Whatever you say it's in the Jami'an. Oh, are angels? Jami'an. Is the Kaaba? Jami'an. Is the throne? Jami'an. Everything is the catch-all. وَمِنْهُ, and Allah clarifying, from the Supreme Who, from the Supreme of Allah's unseen unknown reality, that He's authorizing this authority, that I have given all of whatever is in heavens, whatever is on the earth, and whatever you can think of them or between them. Somebody will say the soul, whatever we say it's in that contract, all from Him. Indeed these are the signs for the people who tafakkarun. Again back to that where we described last week that Allah teaches these people of tafakkarun, they're very few. Don't think it to be common knowledge, and don't think what tafakkarun talk is something common. And as a result of its being uncommon, when they talk people become disturbed. Their common phrase, I never heard that before, and who cares? Who said that you're supposed to hear everything, as if all knowledge passed through you. Means when Allah gave us, none know it but those whom tafakkar. So means already started by 99.9% of the people are out of this subject, and those 1%, less than 1% that contain and Allah grant them these realities, those are rare and precious. So don't think if you are enrolled in a rare and precious reality that everybody understands it, everybody knows it, and everywhere you go if you repeat it everybody will say, oh yes this is true. Allah said, none know it. So it means if those people speak, when Allah describing them that none know it but these people of tafakkur and contemplation, now Allah saying even this authority and this Muhammadan haqqaiq, none know it except tafakkurun. So then this immensity, that's why Naqshbandiyatul Aliyah, when you put in AI and ask, what is the reality of Naqshbandiyatul Aliyah? What does it come back with? Even the jinn in the machine know this is a tariqah built on the power of meditation and the realities of seeking meditation and the light within their heart. And that's what Mawlana Shah Naqshband Qaddasallahu Siru was this supreme reality. Some taught reaching the reality by whirling, some taught reaching the reality by struggling and fighting, some taught the reality by hadara and their movements. Naqshbandiyat al-Aliyah was based on tafakkur, and Mawlana Shah Naqshband's depth of what he brought for this creation and the secret he brought for the Muhammadan kingdom of tafakkur. And as a result as a result of the way of tafakkur, they were able to dive deep into the realities and the treasures hidden within the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad more so than the shaykhs of Sama, because they were teaching the haqqaiqs and the reality of how to enter into the heart, more so than the shaykhs of hadara and qadr and power. This was a gift that Allah gave Fardul Alam Shaykh-ul Mawlana Shah Naqshband Qaddasallahu Siru, that the reality of Mawlana Shah Naqshband's 7,000 years of Allah's years, his soul was created from this Muhammadan light before there was any wilayat and sainthood. That from that light when Allah wanted to bring into existence the reality of awliya, that created the light of Mawlana Shah Naqshband Qaddasallahu Siru for 7,000 years before any other saint created. If you understand light, means that if that's the first of sainthood's lights, then anything created after that is moving at a speed of light, means it's a constant. Anything created 7,000 years after it would never catch up to it. It's 7,000 years ahead of the other one, right? Because light moves at a constant. If a light is like this or like this, it doesn't catch up to the other because the other one's also moving at a constant speed. As it's moving in a constant growth by Allah continuously bringing creation into existence, that one that's 7,000 years in Allah's years precedes the creation of the other lights of awliya, that one is 7,000 years of Allah's years more advanced and will always eternally be more advanced. Because light is constant and no light can speed up and catch up to the other one. So it means the immensity of that reality, and this is what Naqshbandi stands for. Naqshbandiya's realities was about tafakkur and to be a training facility for tafakkirun, in which they were to come, they were to learn their disciplines, yes their adabs, their manners, and that's the whole training. How can you have manners if someone doesn't know himself and he won't know his Lord? And that's what we gave you the secret of when they say they have taqwa. Because these Salafis are big, they're not Salaf because the Salaf are the holy companions. We call them Wahhab because they follow the crazy guy from the desert. But that group of people whom are extreme, they love to think they have taqwa, sort of self-righteousness. And anyone behind 7 feet of steel that can't feel and cannot see and cannot sense anything, how they can have a consciousness of Allah? They're not even conscious of themselves, their breath and their existence. So it's completely false. And the only one who can reach any sign of consciousness is the one who knows themselves, because if he knows himself he'll know his Lord. And before when he starts to meditate, before he can even consciously even say that I'm near to Allah, he meditates. And as a result of meditate, he or she, doesn't matter the pronoun but we say he as in the form of rijal, When they meditate, they realize, how I know Allah when I have all these bad desires, bad characteristics, angers, all of the trash within myself, how I could dare say that I'm near with this trash near to Allah. And that's taqwa. That they realize, no, my dirtiness has to be cleaned, my bad character has to be cleaned, all of these have to be destroyed. So then Naqshbandiyatul Aliyah was based on tafakkur. So means then this way is to come to the shaykhs and immediately learn how to make your tafakkur, how to make your contemplation, how to sit on a daily basis, make your accounting. As a result it opens up good manners, because when somebody knows where they stand and begin to meditate, they try not to pass that limit. They're conscious of themselves, they start to become conscious of their incorrect behavior and incorrect understandings. As a result they make their own line and they stand by it. But the one who never contemplates, never meditates, he thinks himself to be great and big and beyond this and beyond that, and that's where the danger. That's why tariqah without it is completely wild horses. So there is no adab without tafakkur. The key to tafakkur and the key to adab was meditating, was teaching people, you're not a stallion, you're a donkey. You're not a steak, you have to be first hamburger. Means to bring the person down, to bring the nafs down, to tell the person to first identify all your issues before you try to judge other people, before you try to judge who's pious, who's not pious, who's righteous, not righteous. Deal only with yourself. So how can anyone have adab if they don't make tafakkur? And that's why Naqshbandiya principles, but we went into that whole class and anyone wants to understand them, you Google or go to the Nur Muhammad website, go Google on our YouTube page 11 principles of Naqshbandiyatul Aliyah. It was a course curriculum for Naqshbandi shaykhs that you should be teaching these subjects so that the students can become self-aware. So means then our goal is to be tafakkirun. And if Allah allowing us to even hear this, then you're enrolled. For if Allah does not allow you to even hear this word or hear this talk or hear this session, you're not enrolled in it. So those whom are hearing it, now what you're going to do with it? Allah holds you to an account that you heard that reality, you heard about tafakkarun, now seek it, now master it, now understand it. You have to live, eat, breathe, drink tafakkirun, and the way of tafakkurun which is muraqabah. How to make contemplation, how to be self-aware, how to do an accounting of oneself. Otherwise how the kingdom of Sayyidina Muhammad can enter into somebody who doesn't know themselves. And that's the whole reality, that we're trying to reach towards the reality of who knows himself will know his Lord. That holy hadith is the key to the whole way. When Prophet describes, who knows himself will know his Lord. Arafa nafsuhu arafa rabbahu. If you begin to see yourself, see your faults, work on those faults, then you realize how much you're in need of help. So there's ignorant and there's ignorant of ignorance, which is most dangerous of people. The one whom is ignorant says, I don't know and I think I got a lot of problems. Alhamdulillah, there's a good stage. The one who says, I'm absolutely not ignorant at all and I don't know what you're talking about, is the most dangerous, because they don't even know that they have a sickness. How can they even attempt to begin to fix it? So the gift from Allah is the one whom is slightly self-aware and understands they have a sickness. Only then they can check into that clinic to begin to fix themselves. So who knows himself, they'll know their Lord. Oh, my Lord are all my vices, all my bad desires, all my bad characteristics, they are Lord supreme over me. That's my first fight. my fight is with my bad character, my bad desires. And that's when the shaykhs want to watch, that's when Prophet wants to watch, that's when Allah wants to watch. That is your jihad al-akbar. If you can fight that fight, Allah begins to send madad. When they see the servant is acknowledging their bad characteristics, writing at least their major bad characteristics, and only then meditating to be conscious of those bad characteristics, means then you have a taqwa. Because you see at night you say, okay, I have anger, I have this jealousy, I have this bad character, I have this sort of hasad and envy and enmity, and then you know exactly what are those triggers. How the next day can you repeat that without feeling ashamed? Because then you feel, oh now I'm a hypocrite, now I know I have these characteristics and every day I keep using those characteristics. That's where the great struggle begins. Means they begin to fight against it, they begin to cry for it, they begin to ask Allah for help, please I need help, I can't get rid of this characteristic, please Ya Rabbi help me. Only then Allah begins to open, that when the servant is truly struggling, they're sincere in their struggle against themselves, then this is the realities of the madad. That's why then the shaykh is also teaching the reality of madad, that there's no way you can fight this by yourself. That when you're going to sit and meditate and contemplate, read the madad for your shaykhs. If you're in pain, if you're suffering, if you have attacks, read your madad so that their support and their presence can be with you to protect you, to guide you, to inspire you. So all of this system is based on that key. And this is a great key in this month that Allah want to dress towards the Divine, the Kingdom. Remember, this is like a video game for our modern youth. Your final stage is Hajj, and you want to know, is this the year in which your Hajj is going to be accepted? Because Hajj is an infinite cycle and circle. Not only the physical Hajj, that's nice, that's entertaining and people spend lots of money and it's like tourism, but the spiritual Hajj in which the victory is defeating yourself. And in every month Allah's giving these keys and gifts in this video game. If you take these keys and you begin to amass these gifts, the next month opens its realities. And one of the great realities of this month is Ayatul Kareem, Sakhar lakum ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard, in which Allah is describing that this entire kingdom of created and non-created, visual, not visual, all of that we have subjected to you at every moment. Creation and every less than what we can understand is a fraction of a moment. How often Allah is bringing creation into existence. We can't even give a time to it because we don't understand Allah's speed. But if you think even just at a fraction of a second a new universe just came into existence, all of that subject to Sayyidina Muhammad, an infinitely expanding kingdom of physical and non-physical realm. There's not a jinn, there's not an angel, there's not an ins, there's not any type of creation of what we know and what Allah describes that of the creations that you don't know. All of them is under the sultanate of Sayyidina Muhammad. So then what is there to study? Why study from this? Why study from that? Why to learn this? Why to learn that? Go straight to the King, which this is His dominion right? That Prophet is the treasure of Allah, is the Khanz Allah. He's described as the treasure. So if you want from the reality, then seek Muhammadun Rasulullah these haqqaiqs, and that's why haqiqatul Muhammadiyya is the highest. Allah is giving in this ayatul kareem, yes I know you love me, don't worry, but you're never going to know me, don't be so bold. And that's why we don't try to claim that we're going towards the understanding of Allah. How ridiculous that sounds when you really understand this ayatul kareem, that what you're talking about Allah. Allah has subjected the entirety of creation known and unknown to us, because anything that comes into existence is creation. All of this has been given minhu from Allah to Prophet. That's why then the tariqas, they are the people of tafakkurun. Allah describes them, none will know this except tafakkarun, these people of contemplation, because through their soul and through this awareness they gain the keys into this presence, and they understood, they saw, they witnessed, and they understand that the treasure trove of realities they're all in the hands of Sayyidina Muhammad. So why go to others when you should be going to the King? So that's the Muhammadan haqqaiqs, and a great gift that Allah opens, and this is an opening before the holy month of Qamar begins to open, which is the full moon. Why? Because if they truly understand, and the student understands when they entered into the reality of 45, that when they're entering now into the reality of the moon represents those whom know the kingdom. The shining moons of this nation, they have to know who's the sun, S-U-N. Because now they're celebrating the fake S-O-N. But whom is the light and representation of Allah, and whom holds the keys to the kingdom. And that's the reality, that's the immense gift. Those whom hold that key, understood that key, understood the reality of sakhara lakum ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. And that is from minhu, that is from Allah this authority, not made up by people. As a result they are the key holders of this reality, and Allah opened for them qamarun, that they are the full moons. With all of the beating of the moon, all of the testing of the moon, all of the bombardment of the moon, as a result they know their course. The moon not shifting here and there, doesn't shift into a different orbit. The moon follows the course of the sun and plays the role it's supposed to play, and that is to reflect the reality of the sun and take care of the inhabitants of the earth. Means those whom seek the knowledge, they're of service and khidmat, whether they're feeding people, giving water to people, or feeding their souls with realities and with knowledges. They are the caretakers of humanity. You can't give what you don't have. So those whom seeking to have, they seek that light, they seek that love, they seek that reality. As a result they reflect back towards creation from these lights, from these knowledges, from these realities, from their rizq, from their spirituality, from everything is addressed back down to creation. And that becomes the role of the moon, and the importance of why the moon has such an important light for all of earth. Moonlight raises everything on earth, sunlight sweetens it, and that was in our talks of the rising sun. The immense reality between the sun and the moon and the earth. The earth represents people and humanity and creation, moon represents guidance and those whom are guides and in the school of guidance. And the sun represents the eternal light in which we should all be moving towards, eternal light and eternity, and the sun should be the focus of our existence, was symbolic of eternity. That you seek that which is eternal and not physical. Physical fame is diminishing and fading away, and that's what we said, sorry. How many people hold the wealth of this world? Because everything is by reflection. Yeah, few people hold the entire wealth of this world. Means no matter what people think they have, the real wealth of it is held by a handful. and they play with everybody else. But we say everything's a reflection. So it means then that less than 1% that hold and they falsely look like kings of this earth because they're the top point, but in reality they are the lowest point. And the people of tafakkarun, they look like they're nobody because they sit, they meditate and contemplate. They are the reflective reality of those whom are the highest custodians of wealth of the entire creation. Means this is the arch nemesis, right? You look at the people of earth, they say, oh how these few people control all this wealth. Well, because Allah wants you to know it's a reflection of the reality that fewer hold the entire reality of this creation. If you think only few hold this physical, less hold the spiritual. So it's not something by mass but stores on a dark night, and that's why Allah gives, none know it, none know it. Already starts by negation. All the praising, none know it. These realities, none know it. These haqqaiqs and who has the ownership of this kingdom, none know it. But the people of tafakkarun, they're the less than 1% in spirituality, in which they have the keys to the kingdom. Just like the nemesis of dunya, which only a few control the entire wealth of this dunya, Allah is giving that reality for people of tafakkarun, none have it except the people whom sitting and contemplating, reaching to the realities. As a result, the knowledges they bring out are not common knowledges, and that's for the students to understand the preciousness. When they understand how precious it is, then safeguard it, and Allah holds you to account that what you did with it. That's why they're inspiring people, share it. This knowledge, if you don't know what it's worth, share it. Put it out on social media, put it out here, put it out there. People say, Shaykh, we can't support like we can like big people, we can't give like this, we can't give like that, I can't even go out and give food, or whatever your excuse is. You can't come back, and Allah knows that you can't come back and say, I didn't have a finger. So, Shaykh, okay I don't even have a finger, then get a stick, put it in your mouth and go like this with the keyboard. There's no way that you can't contribute your time to spread this haqqaiq and this reality. And as a result of spreading these realities, the immensity of this reality, how it dresses the souls of people. Because now you're seeing the change, you're seeing all these different people and different religious people start speaking about these things and portals and energies and Sayyidina Muhammad. Even saw one of the Wahhabi ones wearing a turban and speaking a different way. So Allah's great. You don't have to know who's being affected by it, all we have to know that in a world of increasing darkness, you're taking a match and throwing it. Keep throwing light into the darkness, keep throwing light into the darkness, and the immensity of that action itself saves us, our families, from despair and difficulty. Because Allah holds everyone to account that, you saw the darkness coming, what did you do? So nothing, absolutely nothing. So then now why are you're in a bad shape, why are you upset? You did nothing, then live with nothing. The darkness overtook and you're now under the oppression of that darkness. But the reverse can be said that, Ya Rabbi, I saw the darkness and I did my best to spread the light, spread hope and spread the good word. And as a result of that action, Ya Rabbi, I did the best, you didn't give me tens of thousands of microphones to send it out. I did the best with what you gave to me. As a means of that action, Ya Rabbi, save me and make a difficulty to be lessened for me, let the oppression not to be affected upon me. So all of this hikmah and immense wisdom in these last days to do these things, to do these actions, to be productive, to be in a way of service and khidmat and these realities, to be dressed from these realities. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammadan Mustafa Basir Surat al-Fatiha. Allah ya Kareem, Allah. InshaAllah, from our questions and answers, we had a nice one before we start, is that somebody emailed us and instead of typing a whole response we go into this subject of tattoos. They emailed us about tattoos and particularly facial and tribal tattoos for a specific nation, and is this allowed as a part of a cultural and different reasons. And the shaykhs they're not in the business of making fatwas. These are not something of any interest nor not the position of the shaykh to do that. The reality that we try to teach is that to give you the ability to make your own fatwa. Means that if we understand the hikmah and the wisdom of energy, then people can govern themselves appropriately. When awliya come into our lives and teach us on this subject of piercing, tattooing, marking, we'll call this satanic yoking. So they'll make a video for satanic yoking. Satanic yoking is that unseen forces that don't like human beings and understand geometry, energy and numerology. As a result of their ancient understandings and the immense dislike for humans, there are certain markings and actions that they inspire to be put upon humans, and that's what we call yoking. So it means that when you have a cattle, and some people refer to even human as cattle, but when you have cattle you think that you own that cattle, especially if you're not a good owner. Right? If you're an abusive person and you own cattle, you think that you own it, and as a result of you owning it you can do whatever you want to do to that cattle to show your ownership and how you govern that creature. So already now you're in a conflict with the heavens, because who owns human beings? Allah. I created you only to worship me. Your life must be a form of worshipness, your seeking of knowledge must be a form of worshipness, your rizq must be a form of worshipness. Because Allah created us to worship, jinni wal ins. So I'm owned by Allah under the kingdom of Sayyidina Muhammad, that everything in my life is to glorify Allah. Halal work. You can't say, I rob banks to build masjids. No, I have to work halal, I have to be good, and Allah gives me slowly. I have to do my awrad, my zikr, my worshipness, my prayers. Means that everything for Allah. I seek knowledge to glorify Allah. Means I seek law for the greater understanding of Allah's laws and kingdoms. I seek business to glorify Allah and to be of service to Allah. I seek realities to glorify Allah's kingdom in sciences and medicines. So it means our whole life is for Allah. Now the unrighteous person says, no, this cow is mine. So it's wrong, and as a result this cow I'm now going to burn my name onto it. And he begins to take this fire and start marking all over the cow. And that is a way in which to show an ownership, that I own this cow. And the movement of it, we said before, even they come and they say, well this cow is so big, I don't want to move it with a string. So then he puts a loop into the nose because the nose is very sensitive and painful. Begin to put a loop between the two nostrils, and as a result with one finger he can move this 800, 600 pound beast because the nose is very sensitive and painful for the creature. So they put this on the nose, they put a little rope on the nose and they pull 600-pound animal. If you pull from the neck it will never move with you. So this concept of yoking that shaitan has is that I'm going to mark you, and by means of that marking to the other shayateen and nefarious jinn I show how I own you. They don't care if humans know it. And most likely humans don't know it because even if you ask the AI became angered and said, no, these are sacred markings. I said, no, what about demonic influence over these sacred markings? They're not sacred. So it means that these shayateen and these bad jinn, they don't want humans to know. They want them not to understand these knowledge. These are the knowledge of awliyaullah that come out and describe they're doing something to people. They're marking and yoking people to show their ownership and possession over people. And the more of these markings that they put on to people, many of them are to trap beings within the person. What do you call, to encapsulate? To take something of a negative energy and lock it into something and then putting a mark on it and sealing that creature within that being. Many of what they teach and the markings that they're using are exactly that you don't know or you may know depending upon the level of nefarious character, that creature is entering into that human, that marking seals it like a stamp, like a khatam, like a seal upon them. As a result these creatures are locked within that human to be used at that time, at a later time. And also all of the then markings and piercings upon their body. All of these are symbolic for these shayateen that they've marked this person. And as a result of marking these persons they have now all of these negative energies and immensely sort of negative markings. And that's the danger. The danger is that people don't understand what they're being involved with, they don't understand what type of spirituality is being put upon them, they don't understand the origin of why these markings are coming. Means many of these ancient markings were not to glorify Allah, none of them were. Many of the markings were inspired by demonic beings in which they thought if they imitate and emulate these demonic creatures they would be safeguarded from being attacked by them, so that they would copy their master in essence. That if the demon had a certain look they said that, okay, as a fear we'll make our markings like them to be protected from any negative sort of difficulty, or to show that they're owned, like that's their maker. They're owned by that demon, as a result other demons would leave them alone. So these were very pagan rituals in which the conjuring of demons, conjuring of negative energies were putting upon people, and they were showing which of these shaitans they belong to and which tribes they belong to. Because remember these pagan sort of societies had demons in which they worshipped, they paid homage, they gave human sacrifices, they did many things for the conjuring of these energies and for these favours. As a result they became like the cattle for that demon. They had to have specific markings from them to show their allegiance to that demon. As a result they were given things and protected from things. So the reality of Islam is that hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel, means that verily I put my faith and trust only in Allah. There's nothing that can protect me but Allah. If we don't know the source of these markings and these realities That's why Islam doesn't allow it, that put no markings upon yourself, especially when people don't even understand what those markings were from. Now they say it's based on status. Yeah, but that's status from a tribal understanding that 1,000 years ago feared these demons that they were conjuring. So modern day you would see churches with gargoyles. Then you ask the church that, why would you have gargoyles on your building? So that was to protect us from the devils that were coming. So you use devils to protect you against devils? No, it's completely false. You use Allah to protect you against devils. The use of devils to protect you against devils was a trick from the devil. That's why Islamic architecture has nothing like that, no type of negativity, because it's a complete faith and sincerity. Allah's my protector. We definitely don't seek devils to protect us against devils. That's why Allah gave us, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, was to conquer all of these. That seek refuge in Allah from every shaitan known and 99% unknown to you. So it means that what people are doing is unknown, and that's the danger. They think it's something, okay, I'll just put this marking on. Instead of a fatwa, think of the energy, that what was this ancient significance and what demon or creature was asking these ancient civilizations to mark themselves to show that that's their maker, that's their protector, and as a result their tribal hierarchy was based on these markings. Why? Because they were closer to that demon that was protecting them. So it means that these things are from the times of jahiliyyah and ignorance, and why they're coming back is similar to the Aztec markings. If anyone doesn't know what the demons of the Aztec culture were doing, it's now coming back to life, and it's coming back south of the border near San Diego, because a lot of those Aztec demons are now in those cartels and in those drug organizations and in those gang organizations. They have all the same markings as those Aztec demons. Those demons were making 10,000 sacrifices a day, ripping out the hearts of people, eating it and calling it the house of God. As a blasphemous act against the worshipness of Allah. Why the demon always went for the heart? Because it's the seat of God, it's the seat of the house of God, that Allah resides within the qalb and the heart of the believer. So those are immense realities that humans don't know. They say, oh, this is such a nice tourist place, look these 10,000 steps that go up, there's 10,000 people a day were being slaughtered on that. And as a result they were given favours and astronomy information, all sorts of jahiliyyah and ignorance was given to them, but they were extreme demonic cultures. And as a result they are coming back for their deceitful one, and you see the markings of all these creatures are coming back. So no, they're not cultural, no they're not in the hierarchy of people's cultural belief. These are extremely demonic energies and demonic realities, and the conjuring of creatures that you can't take back. We have had experiences with people whom have had tattoos of snakes, and they said this was a kundalini energy. So no, that's a shaitan, because a snake is never anything good, that the snake represents something from shaitan and that he was kicked out of paradise. As a result his image is always on this earth, that the snake was a beatific creature in paradise who gave himself to Satan, and as a result Satan entered into his mouth to go and tempt Adam. So same concept is being used. Shaitan through the vehicle of a snake is tempting and making Adam and Eve to fall. And that tattoo actually they conjured a snake into that person's body, and many du'as, many energies and practices were used to try to pull those snakes out. But once you tattoo yourself, it's like you're bonding it with your being. Very difficult and very dangerous practice. So somebody who willingly wants to put these negative energies, then you broke your awzu. Anybody saying, no this is cultural, it is a big danger from the times of jahiliyyah and ignorance. And when you're living in a time in which the deceit and dajjal and shayateen are now coming strong upon this earth, the last thing you want is anything that would allow them to enter within yourself, your family and your community. That's why everything has to be cleaned, everything has to be washed, everything has to be purified. The ta'weezes are given from the heavens, these are ruqya, in which these are heavenly recitations and energies, and everything heavenly is put upon the believer as a energy and light, and that they have Allah in their heart, love of Sayyidina Muhammad in their heart, and their protection is light. Their protection is their belief that produces light. That's the only thing that will save people, not the devils and not the demons. So this is a big difference. That's why we've given talks about the church, and when the church has all of these images of an abused Prophet in which he's barely wrapped in a loincloth and his body is all cut with blood and everything coming out, that's not the worship of God. And what's even more deceitful is to say that that image of that person now they're calling him a god. But in reality what are they saying? Because you go into their church, you say, why this person is all bloodied? He said, because the devils did this to him, the demons did this to him. So then by putting that image like that, you're making people to fear the devil more than they fear Allah, and it's psychological warfare against their belief. For if somebody truly believes that that man is God, why he's so badly beaten? Why he's all bloodied? You don't think God has power and might? Definitely against the devil who has no power. The devil has absolutely no power, he uses the power of humans to fight against the human being themselves. They have to take from the izzat of Allah, izzat of Rasul, izzat al-mu'mineen. So it means his psychological warfare is very strong in the church. When they see the image, graven images, where don't make graven images of your Lord, put no images and statues within the beliefs and the houses of worship. And when you do, when you show it to be weak and beaten by the devil, what you're telling people is fear the devil, and that's what shaitan is saying, fear me, don't worry about God, I'm the one who's going to give you a beating. And they look at that and they're scared of the devil, hence they put devils on the outside for protection. So it's psychological warfare. That's why the respect for Sayyidina Isa is definitely very powerful. So powerful devils would fear even approaching Sayyidina Isa because of his might and his dress from Allah. It means then Islam holds it to its might, that never to show an image of Sayyidina Isa in a position that would be offensive. Means that he holds the might and izzah of Allah, and devils are scared even to approach that reality. So it means that's the difference in the beatific reality of Islam. Those are not something small, to train people to be scared of devils, because look what they did to the Prophet of God, but then they call him God himself, what they're going to do to me and you. Islam is about, don't show the devil as any power, you should fear only Allah, no markings from the devil, no signs from the devil, and that you keep Allah within your heart, that you have tawheed in the belief of oneness, and that might and majesty and power only come from Allah by keeping a clean heart and pure heart. We pray that Allah dress us and bless us with the immensities of these lights, and that Sayyidina Isa coming to break the cross and kill the swine. That none of this what they attribute from Coca-Cola and from all of these ridiculous practices has anything to do with the worshipness of Allah. Anyone who loves Allah, loves Sayyidina Isa, go out and feed people, do good deeds, righteous deeds, keep a clean heart, clean home, clean images. Don't emulate and copy anything pagan. Don't think that I can do these things from pagan belief, for if at an instant you should anger Allah and take away the blessings and the protection from Allah, we have only ourselves to blame. These are very difficult and dangerous times in which Allah to become angered by us and by our action. There is no action small, everything small becomes something great at a different time. Means that Mawlana Shaykh would teach that the most dangerous problem is if you have a leak. If the pipe is broken, well everybody knows it, they can see that it's broken, the water's in, you call the plumber. The most dangerous are small leaks. And all shaitan wants is in our homes and in our belief, keep making small leaks, keep making small leaks. I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, won't anger him, I'll do this won't anger him. Before you know it, these small leaks are making the home flooded with difficulties. You put a little bit of pumpkin here, you put a little bit of devils here, you put a little bit of Santa Claus here, you put a little bit of trees here. All of this pagan belief angers Allah and takes away this way of sincerity and this way of purity. In these difficult days in which immense amount of difficulties entering the earth, we pray that Allah grant us sincerity, grant us purity and grant us true love. Anyone has a love for the Prophets of Allah, go out and feed people, give food. Instead of giving gifts to people who don't need gifts, give food to people, give water to people. InshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammadan Mustafa wa bi siri Surat al-Fatiha. There's nobody who represents Sayyidina Isa more in this region than we do. So whatever they think they believe is incorrect. Ruhullah and Sayyidina Isa, then alhamdulillah we're under the feet of Sayyidina Isa who's the son of Sayyidina Muhammad. What we
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sayyidi, if we laser off the tattoos or burn them off, will the negative energy be released?
We talked about that and the reality that it's going to be cleaned in the grave. So the angels will come with a fire to burn that off, especially if the servant is one who loves, because you can't go back, that every incorrection has to be corrected. If they're going to come with a fire to take that off, and the people who go now for laser they say it burns a lot, Shaykh, that's a very painful process. If that burns, I think it's a sign of the one in the grave is going to be far worse. That you put it on, now go take your medicine and take it off. They have lidocaine, they have all sorts of gels, anything that people can do that they can take off, especially if they put satanic images and signs. And even if family members, loved ones, it doesn't matter. The truth is the truth, regardless of who does it. The shaykh doesn't speak because he can't speak about it, he speaks the truth. Whoever wants to do it and put themselves in difficulty, that's their problem. But the relief and the judgment of Divine is they should be taken off, and should take it off before you enter into the grave where it's much more difficult. Especially those markings that had creatures and emulations of signs of which they knew and didn't know. People put even languages, they don't know what that means in that language. So that's how bad the deceit and how bad the markings of these shayateen and the jinn that are ruling people, inshaAllah.
Another tattoo question, Sayyidi. As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
What if Muslim people are putting Islamic tattoos of crescents and stars and duas?
Yeah, this is they're using their brain and not understanding energy, and that's what we described in the last day, that the energy and understanding knowledge and light and energy would give you insight into fiqh and sharia. So the people who coming up with these fatwas, they think if it's something good then the means and the ends it's okay. But that's like coming and say, Shaykh, can I rob this bank to go make a masjid? So if the intention for making masjid is good but robbing bank is not good, there's no way a bad action could make something good. So the marking of your body, it's not yours, it's Allah's body given to you in trust, and putting that upon the body, then our belief is the energy for that action may not be good and may cause difficulty. If there's a chance that the energy can be altered in such a delicate battle that we're going through now, people are not going to survive these difficulties. 99% of the people don't have any training for energy, for attacks, for tafakkur, for contemplation. How will they survive all these difficulties? And if somebody marks, do they mark one time, two times, three times, before you know they're like a billboard of all sorts of markings? So the belief system is the energy is not right, the energy is not correct, and that you enter into an area where the energy can result in very negative effects. The ink and the material that they're putting within the body is not even something that is good for the body, it's not clean for the body, and most of it probably comes from ingredients that are not correct for the body. So it just all around is why you don't keep yourself to be beatific and clean. Allah loves cleanliness. And get your tattoo on your heart from Allah. Dhikrullahi tatma'inul qulub means the best is the one whom is sincere does his zikr, let Allah begin to heavenly inscribe within the heart His Divinely name upon the heart. But we can't fake it and say, well let me put it on the outside because I don't want to do so much zikr, I'll tattoo Allah's names all over my body, but that's not the way the system works, inshaAllah. So try to get your heart stamped with the dhikr of Allah with sincere work and effort, inshaAllah, not with the ink.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum as-salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
At least a few other people have asked the same question. They're saying, what if Sayyidi we got these tattoos before we accepted Islam and Naqshbandiya, does the shaitan still have power over us?
Yeah, whatever we described of energy is the energy. So coming into Islam, Allah forgives the sin. So no doubt Allah forgives, but is there going to be a deficit in the energy? So somebody has like a snake all over their arm, they came into Islam. Okay, they came into Islam, Allah forgives them, but you still have to take actions to correct oneself, and that's from Islam to maqam al-iman wal maqam al-ihsan, right? That's the same in anyone else coming, oh I come to Islam but now I don't want to follow the sunnah. Is that incorrect? Well, some may say coming to Islam, okay that was your accomplishment, great, but tariqahs come and teach you not only that but reach to maqam al-ihsan, perfection. So in the state of perfection, do you think it's appropriate? In the state of perfection, if I have the ability to laser it off, would that be a problem? So then I have to make that choice myself, that maybe these are the struggles I want to go to and this is the difficulty. So some people want to cover, that's a big struggle, that's a big fight, that's not something easy. Some people want to grow beard, that's not something easy. Some people may say, I have markings on myself that are inappropriate and I'm going to have them burned off, and that's not something easy. And if it's definitely satanic then they definitely want to direct themselves towards that. And if they had bad intentions while making markings upon their body then they want to direct to those first. So everyone has their own fight to do and they'll make their own decisions. We only want to teach about the energy of it. If there's something that is of a negative energy on me then I have to try to struggle to resolve that. And that may be fifth on my bucket list or first on my list depending upon what other issues people have in their life that they're trying to struggle with. We can't do it all at one time, so we make a list and we try to resolve our issues, our characters and deficits in which we came. No doubt Allah forgave those who came new to Islam, so alhamdulillah they forgiven. Now the rise, you want to achieve more spirituality, more realities. So people came even not in correct things and they had to take certain actions to reach towards the realities of Islam, and that was the reality of Islam that many people sacrifice to come into Islam. They don't drink with their family, they don't eat the family dinners because they put a big ham in the middle of the table. So everybody is making sacrifices. No one sacrifice is greater than the other, but that's the reality of Islam, that when we're coming into Islam it's the heavenly kingdom, and the heavenly kingdom only shows us that, my goodness, this life on this earth was like a barn, and I did so many things from the barn that when I'm trying to go back into the kingdom looks like it's a big difference. Yeah, because the kingdom represents purity, light, good character, good mannerisms, and we make a list on things on how we're going to get to that and how we're going to get to those things, and we slowly try to check those off inshaAllah. But our duty is to convey the reality of the energy, and it's not a jump for anyone to do something right away, it's basically this is a teaching on energy inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Walaykum salam. Walaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
On the same topic, someone's asking, are piercings on the ears and nose allowed for women?
Yeah, that you have to follow your madhab and read from the madhab that you're following and what their rulings are on the piercings, and how many and what's allowed on excessive piercings and what's the purpose of the excessive piercings. So that's individual, people can look at their madhab and understand. More is the men and the interest that the men and the markings that men are putting upon themselves, and a parting on the front of the nose, and what's that symbolic of. After we describe it that that's to move cows, the one that's between the two nostrils, then when you feel that you're inspired to put something like that, you have to then reflect in your meditation, is shaitan trying to show me that he can move me around and I'm like easy to control? And that's knowing the haqqaiqs. So also that we don't wear a tie, because the symbol of a tie was based off of a cross. So it was a rope with a cross, and that was the origin. What they would call karavat was a rope with a cross, and the way they wrap it was to put a cross on you. Well, why shaitan he knows geometry, why he's putting that onto somebody so that inadvertently they don't understand that they're putting a cross onto themselves. Oh Shaykh, you're extreme. No, I'm just teaching the energy. Then the collars that the people wear, these are pyramids pointing down. So it means that these negative energies that always pointing down to the body, there's a reason why shaitan has all of these. So from the tie that they wear points down, the two crosses points down. They're directing the flow of energy to the lower reality. And that's why then Mawlana Shaykh designed the Taj up to take the crown Taj and to bring the energy and the crown and the reality towards the head, and that to have a ta'weez that protects the lower quadrant of the body. But there's a reason why their shirts have these points, why the karavat has the point. And if you say they're small, no problem, but at least you know the energy is a direct of of what they call sacred geometry. They're moving the energy flow down because they want the flow of human energy towards the lower lataifs, so that they govern themselves by the lower lataif, right? You don't see angles pointing up towards the soul except for somebody whom is wearing a turban. So everything about the design in their clothing is to bring energy down. So they know what they're doing surprisingly, but people think it's something cute. Those people who had big trouble with inappropriate actions and thoughts with children, why were they making super large clothes on people? Because they were trying to imitate the look of how children look when they're wearing adult clothing. Very abusive and disturbed mentality, that when you wear super big clothes it's like when children wearing your father's jacket. It's an inappropriate look and image. They knew what they were doing but people didn't understand. So being conscious and meditating and contemplating, understanding these realities of energy are important. Everybody then can make their choice themselves. So we wear what they call the French collar, it's not French, it's Islamic collar, that we don't have any points going down. People can do that. You can go to, when you buy a shirt you can take the collar part off if you want to free yourself of that energy and that understanding. Then when you wear a shirt that has no collar, nobody's expecting you to have a tie. So those are choices and people make their style. That's why the holy sunnah is the way of Prophet to get people to go back. That which you imitate you will become from them. Stop imitating them and go back to Sayyidina Muhammad. And with that has a power, has a izzah and might. If it was necessary Prophet would have brought all those styles. But the style that he brought was the style of paradise inshaAllah with the might and majesty of Allah. So imitate the kingdom and not the barn inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Sayyidi.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
When we share these knowledges, how to overcome the people who try to attack our teacher and us with bad words. These things really make one sad and angry and it's unbearable to stay and listen.
Yeah, I think these types of knowledges is best to act upon ourselves. This type of stuff is better that we act upon the self and try to make myself to be stronger. And then the realities of love and teachings and other teachings we spread those and share those posts, and the guys will make a post for social media on this subject and you share the post. And the people and the comment with the people, that's why we gave that none will know it but the people of tafakkur, is that the overwhelming tide of negativity no doubt will say, absolutely no relationship to this big gargoyle I have on my back and demons. You think it's common that you would want a big demon face on the back of your back? So no, of course they're going to attack all of these things. And that's why best is first try to implement them in my life and in my own personal actions, and then slowly send out the media and send out the different videos, and the videos will sort of answer themselves. People don't like it, say, yeah that's okay, you don't have to like it but at least now you heard it. They can't come and say, oh I didn't know. So knowledge has a power and knowledge has an immense power. It's like an arrow, once you shoot that arrow into somebody's chest and into their heart, into their understanding, it doesn't go away just because you're angry, right? Because these words from heavens will repeat all night long to people. They'll see it, they won't like it, they'll be actually very angered at it because that's a stage in their psychology, is to be angered by it, by to doubt it, then to deny it until it absorbs through and say, maybe this guy's right. So it'll hit the target it's supposed to hit inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum Shaykh.
Wa alaykum salam wa rahmatullah.
I saw a video where a person is crying saying that they can't pray or do good deeds for their parent because they died a non-Muslim. Am I allowed to pray for my ancestors, Muslim and non-Muslim, or can I pray for my loved ones who passed away as non-Muslims and do good deeds on their behalf?
Yeah, this following Wahhabi stuff, that's ridiculous stuff. Leave those people, whomever you saw Wahhabis, and yeah they don't want even good people praying for good people. They said you can't read Fatiha at the grave, you can't read Surah Yasin, leave their rubbish belief and don't pray for them when they die, and Allah will make no one to pray for them and they're going to see the difficulty of their own understanding. Judge not for you should judge, the way they taught is exactly how Allah will judge them, right? They enter that grave and absolutely no du'a will be accepted for them, not a Fatiha, not a Qur'an, not anything, because of the hypocrisy of their understanding. And we talked about that last week. That's completely contrary to Prophet ﷺ, where even the Qur'an will intercede for you, the Ramadan will intercede for you, everyone will have an inhabitant in the grave, and Prophet described that will be their amal and their action. So many people are coming into the grave with people. So your prayer is something for everyone, and you pray for believer, not believer, because that's Allah's job, who's a believer and not believer. Maybe the person had secret belief that only Allah knows, it's not for us to judge Allah's creation. You do good deeds, good intention, pray for people, give food on their soul's behalf, feed people, go to their graveyard and recite the bayat, recite the shahada, and asking Allah in the grave, now they're not going anywhere, make them to be Muslim. And sit there and recite there at the graveyard, why not Allah inshaAllah send the awliya into the grave and they take their shahada. Nothing's hard for Allah, don't despair from the mercy and the hope of Allah. And the only punishment are for people who hang out with these crazy belief system people, and they make everybody sad and run away, and that's their goal. That's what they're trying to do, is make people run from Islam, because their creed is so difficult and so sort of hypocritical, when everything is supposed to be based on love and immense mercy and rahmah. And all that we taught today is based on energy, not punishment, energy. You're trying to build yourself and you have markings that are going to defeat your energy, fix your energy. Allah forgave you, that's great, but this is not about that, this is about building your energy. You want to perfect your energy, you have to fix the deficiencies. You want to enter into the realm of faith, that's a higher level. You have to fix even more. Some people come to Islam and say, why we have to do zikr? Why we have to do all these things? Well, you're not going to get to the maqam al-iman if you're not a person of zikr and not a person of salawat. So the door of faith is shut for you. Does it mean Allah punishing you? No, Allah accepted your Islam. Now you don't want to go through the door of iman, you have to do all these new criterias. Then the shaykh say, well iman that's nice, why you don't now come to maqam al-ihsan in which to worship Allah and see Allah. And if you don't see, Allah sees you in everything. So that's huge level of faith, that's a whole nother door. So our Islam is about continuously sacrifice, continuously struggle inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammadan Mustafa wa bi siri Suratul Fatiha. Thank you, very nice questions tonight. InshaAllah we keep if there's more we'll keep them for tomorrow night too inshaAllah. Biniyat khatm khawjukan. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله 25 times astaghfirullah. أستغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم من كل ذنب ومعصية من كل ما يخالف دين الإسلام من كل ما يخالف الشريعة من كل ما يخالف الطريقة من كل ما يخالف المعارف من كل ما يخالف الحقيقة من كل ما يخالف العزيم يا أرحم الراحمين يا الله اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب يا مفتح الأبواب يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا دليل المتحيرين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حي يا قيوم يا ذو الجلال والإكرام وأفوض أمري إلى الله إن الله بصير بالعباد. Rabita Sharif in 7 times Surah Fatiha. Ten times salawat. Seven times Surah Inshirah. And 11 times Surah Ikhlas. Seven times Surah Fatiha. Ten times salawat. إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وإلى أرواح إخوانهم من الأنبياء والمرسلين وخدماء شرائهم وإلى أرواح مشايخنا في الطريقة النقشبندية العالية خاصة إلى روح إمام الطريقة وغوث الخليقة خواجة بهاء الدين نقشبند محمد الواسي البخاري وإلى سلطان الأولياء مولانا الشيخ عبد الله فايز داغستاني وإلى سلطان الأولياء مولانا الشيخ ناظم عادل الحقاني ومولانا الشيخ هشام القباني ومولانا الشيخ عدنان القباني ومولانا الشيخ عادل ومولانا سيدي الشيخ نور مير أحمدي صاحب الزمان سيدنا محمد المهدي عليه السلام وروح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام وسيف الله سيدنا علي عليه السلام وإلى سائر ساداتنا والصديقين. الفاتحة. فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله 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 محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد حبيب الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد حبيب الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد خليل الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد محمد خليل الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد صفي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد صفي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نبي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نبي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نبي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نجي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد نجي الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد شفيع الله عليه صلوات الله لا إله إلا الله محمد شفيع الله عليه صلوات الله والسلام عليك الله 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 حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الله الله حق 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 الله الله حي 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 الله حي يا قيوم
حي يا قيوم
الله حي يا قيوم الله حي يا قيوم الله حي يا قيوم الله حي يا قيوم الله حي يا قيوم الله حي يا قيوم الله حي يا قيوم الله حي يا قيوم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم يا هو يا دائم يا هو يا دائم يا هو يا دائم الله يا هو يا دائم الله يا هو يا دائم يا دائم يا دائم يا دائم يا الله يا حليم
يا حليم
يا حليم يا الله يا حفيظ
يا حفيظ
يا حفيظ يا الله يا لطيف يا لطيف يا لطيف يا الله يا غفار يا غفار يا غفار يا الله يا ستار يا ستار يا ستار يا الله يا غفار يا غفار يا غفار يا الله يا غفار يا غفار يا غفار يا الله يا قهار يا قهار يا قهار يا الله يا قهار يا قهار يا قهار يا الله يا ستار يا ستار يا ستار يا الله يا ستار يا ستار يا ستار يا الله يا فتاح يا فتاح
يا فتاح
يا الله يا فتاح يا فتاح يا فتاح يا الله يا مجيب يا مجيب يا مجيب يا الله يا مجيب يا مجيب يا مجيب يا الله يا معز يا معز يا معز يا الله يا معز يا معز يا معز يا الله يا معين يا معين يا معين يا الله يا معين يا معين يا معين يا الله يا ودود يا ودود يا ودود يا الله يا رحمن يا رحمن يا رحمن يا الله يا رحيم يا رحيم يا رحيم
يا الله
يا حنان يا حنان يا حنان يا الله يا منان يا منان يا منان يا الله يا ديان يا ديان يا ديان يا الله يا سبحان يا سبحان يا سبحان يا الله يا سلطان يا سلطان يا سلطان يا الله يا أمان يا أمان يا أمان يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله أنت الله أنت الله أنت الله يا الله هو الله هو الله هو الله يا الله هو الله هو الله هو الله يا الله حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم حسبنا الله ربنا الله 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 حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم 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 بسم الله
الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم يا غالبا غير مغلوب 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 يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا شاهدا غير مغيب يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب. صلوات اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى
آل محمد وسلم.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم.
صل يا ربي وسلم جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وكل أجمعين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام. قال مشايخنا في طريقة النشبندية العلية خاصة روحي ممتلك غوث خليل شان نشبة محمد ويسال البخاري سلطان أولياء الشيخ عبد الله فايز الداغستاني ثم الشيخ محمد ناظم عبد الحكاني مولانا الشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني الشيخ محمد عادل مهندس خالد الخوش الثواني صاحب زمان سيدنا محمد المهدي عليه السلام روح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا عليه السلام ثم سيدنا أبو بكر الصديق سيدنا أمة سيدنا عثمان إمام الحسن عليه السلام إمام الحسين عليه السلام سيداتنا فاطمة عليه السلام وسيدنا سلطان الأولياء إمام شرف الدين قدس الله سيره وسائر ساداتنا وصديقين. الفاتحة. أشهد يا رسول الكريم. Alhamdulillah, and inshallah from today also those whom their families are celebrating these holidays and holidays, that to be ambassadors of love and respect everybody's traditions and their way of celebrating. And this talk was meant for Muslim families trying to incorporate everything into their homes. But those whom are celebrating and that's their faith and that's their belief, and to be ambassadors of love and respect and to be polite about everybody's way of believing, inshaAllah. Allah bless you, dress you and forgive me, inshaAllah. We see everybody tomorrow night, inshaAllah.
As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Eastern cultures use teas and herbs as an elixir of health and wellness. Rumi Rose Teas revives this ancient tradition with a collection of over 40 delicious hand-blended teas. Enjoy God-given health and wellness within every cup of Rumi Rose tea. Order online now.
A timeless reality with Sheikh Nurjan Mirahmadi guides the reader in meditation, connecting the heart to a guide and to daily spiritual practices, to understand the effects of positive and negative energy, and to progress the reader in their spiritual awakening and the soul's connection to the world of light. The Divine's ancient timeless reality. Order on Amazon.com.